Okay. So today's date is 3/8/22, and we're going to be doing complementary level 2. Complementary angles level 2. Okay? Let's see if this will respond. Try it one more time. 11557902991. Seems like it's gonna work this time. Alright, there you go. Alright. So review from yesterday. Yesterday was pretty easy, right? You discovered at the end of the period, like, hey, this isn't terrible. If I have two angles and they make 90 degrees and one angle is, let's say, 53 degrees and this angle is x, what do I set up? We set up an equation. It's a G for angles. Good. And then we drew our bars, and basically it was just minus 53, x equals 37, right? That was level 1 from yesterday. Super basic, super easy, right? So this is level 1. A review from yesterday. These two angles added together give you 90 degrees. So you set up an equation, x plus 53 equals 90. Subtract, subtract. We call it a day. Right? So now, you're going to do the exact same thing, but it's going to be like 2 steps to solve. Okay? I mean, you already... Sometimes you have to just add before you subtract. It's different situations. All right. We're good? Did we write this down? Are we not distracted? We're good? We wrote this down? Yes, yes, yes? All right. So, start writing this down now so we don't fall behind. All right. So this is going to be level 2. Okay, this is level 2. So now, instead of just having x, we have x plus 17 and 42 degrees. Okay? Together, what do they make? 90 degrees, right? So we still have a complementary angles, 2 angles that equal 90 degrees. So when we set up an equation, we're just going to write all of this together. X plus 17 plus 42 all has to equal what? 90. Okay? So there's one extra step. What's the extra step? I have this plus 17 Geo that we're writing this down. All right, so now we draw our bars. What do you guys want to do? There's a couple ways to solve it. What? Yes. What did you say? Okay, so there's 2 ways to do it. There's Pedro's way and Masai's way. One is you can add these 2 together because it's plus 17 plus 42. Or you can take 42 and move it and 17 and move it. Okay? Whatever way you want to do it. Let's do the Pedro way, which is taking these 2. Do you see how there's a plus sign in front of it? Sometimes it's not. So you have to be careful. This is plus 42. This is plus 17. So what do we get when we add these 2 together? 59 plus x equals 90. Now you move the 59 to the other side. Now it looks like yesterday's. So here, now we're dealing with what we did yesterday. Right here is what we did yesterday. So this part, this is new to us. Like, oh, I got to put these 2 together first? Yes. Okay? So x is equal to 31 degrees. Okay? We're okay? So it's just like one step more. Not terribly difficult, but this is why we set up equations. All right. let's do another one that's a little bit different, but still kind of in the same idea. Let me change this to 38. You'll thank me later.
Why?
You'll thank me later. No.
Why?
Okay, so this one is, so again, it's complementary, so what do you know? You know you have to put them together and equals 90. Okay, what do I write down first? X minus 22, so that's this angle, plus 38 is equal to 90. All right? So all we did there, I don't call this math. You just copy it down, right? You haven't done any math. You just rewrote it. Horizontal. Cool. All right. What do we want to do? Okay. Now this is where it gets tricky. Because this is a minus, right? So it's a minus 22 and a plus 38. Can I just add those two together? No, because this is a minus 22, so like a negative 22, and this is a positive 38. So you see how you can't just put them together? This is a negative 22. So it's like when we used to do this. You have negative 22 of these.
Oh,
And you have positive 38s of these.
And you turn them into circles?
And you turn them into circles. Remember that?
Yeah.
Now am I going to draw 22 and 38 of these?
No.
No. Can we imagine them?
Yeah.
Yes. So when we imagine them, what do we have left over?
I don't know.
So when they're different, do you add or subtract them? So when they're different, what do? Subtract them. 38 minus 22? 16. Do you have more negatives or do you have more positives? More positives, so your answer is positive 16. So I have x plus 16 equals 90. Now I do minus 16, minus 16.
Give us some time.
Can I make this easier for you? Maybe. It's more work, but it might be easier. For those of you who are looking at me where you're like, what just happened? I can sense it. Here's what you can do. When the signs are different here, what you could do, and you'll get the same answer, is, you know what, I'll just do Masai's way. And go, you know what, I'm going to take this one and go minus 38, minus 38. I get 52 equals x minus 22. Because I just used the 38, but I didn't use the x minus 22. So how do I move the 22? Plus 22 plus 22. So x is equal to 74. What did I get before? 74. So what you could do, if you're like, I don't understand what you did right there, Miss Amelie. Cool. Just take one number at a time and move it. So it says plus 38. So what are you going to do? Minus 38. It says minus 22. So what are you going to do? Add 22. It's a little bit more work, but if you don't trust yourself with this, you can do it this way. Does that make sense? So whatever, if you don't feel, you're like, I don't want to mess this up. Cool. Just take an extra 30 seconds and you'll get a right answer and feel more comfortable about it. Okay. All right, so let's change it up.
We're doing another one?
Yeah. Because you might get this. Oh my goodness. This is easy. Easy. I think this will be easier than the one we just did together. All right. What's our equation? No.
2x plus 40.
2x plus 40 is equal to 90. Yeah. This is 2x. There's no addition sign. There's no minus.
You're giving me a hint. So you put the bars in minus 40.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just put the 2x.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like what we did last
December. What you did in your do nows. What you do on your homework. So, Emmanuel, what number do we move first? The 40. So it would be minus 40 minus 40. Does that change? Nope. What's 90 minus 40? 50. What do I have left on this side? 2x.
divided by 2.
So I'm using stuff that we've learned back in like December with your two-step equations, your bars, into geometry. And this is one of the reasons why yesterday I was being so like, you have to write the equation, you have to write the equation. So you get used to writing the equation, and today it's like, oh yeah, no big deal, equals 90, equals 90. This is why I was being such a pain yesterday when it came to this simple worksheet, right? And some of you are like, do I have to? Yes, because today the transition is easier. You're used to writing equations. There's no hesitation. We're okay? All right, one more. That's different. So all of these have been different. If you notice, every single example, you do something a little bit different. So this is the last one, and this one looks hard. I feel so bad for you.
Is it actually?
No, it's not. Yep. Oh, sorry.
You know why I actually quit for this one? I don't really know how to do that. Wait, it's like what we did. But I don't know how to do that.
Okay, what's the equation?
X3 plus 25 equals 90.
Okay.
You know what? I quit for this one. I don't know this one.
So, same step to begin with, right? Don't be scared of it. Every time it looks like a fraction, you're really just multiplying, which is easier than dividing. So we get 65 equals x over 3. How do I move the 3 when it looks like a fraction? Multiply, right? Because this means division, so what's the opposite? Multiplication. So I'm going to multiply by 3, x equals, I have no idea what 65 times 3 is. 15, 18, 19? Yeah, 195.
So 195?
Mm-hmm.
That's harder. I'm going to quit for this one.
It's the same thing you've been doing. You have the skills to do this.
No, I don't really understand.
Months ago. No, like,
I understand that we're supposed to like times, but I wasn't sure.
Just said that.
yeah, because like, where was it? Back in December 2nd, Masai, we went over how to do these types of problems with fractions. So back in December, we used to do these type of equations and stuff.
But I didn't understand that.
But now we need to, because you're going to be using these in 8th grade and in high school. All right. All right. So, on the front side, you have level 1. Level 1 is just like yesterday. Super easy. X plus 62 equals 90. Okay? Level 1. Just like yesterday, Tanya. Super easy. The back side is what we just did today. Maybe the hardest one, maybe, is 5 and 8 because they have a minus, but not that difficult. Yes. Question or stretching? Oh, just leave it on the desk. So number 1 on the back would be x plus 20 plus 63 equals 90 on the back side. So the back side's level 2. Are they all plus signs? Okay, if they're all plus signs, it's easy. You can just add them. Number 5 and number 8, they have minus signs. Just take it just a little slower. So put these two together. Put these two together. Add them up. What's 20 plus 63?
83.
So x plus 83 is equal to 90. Now what? Focus.
Minus 83.
Minus 83. What is x equal to? No. Borrow.
17.
No. Right.
7.
This is why you go 10 and you write the 8. You have to write it down so your brain sees it's 8 minus 8.
I forgot that I was borrowing. I know that I was borrowing,
But
but I forgot.
that's why we write it down. That's why we show work, okay?
Miss O'Malley, but I'm really smart.
No one says you're not, but we got to write it down. All right?
Ah,
Let's get to work.
probably dumb.
No. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, you have this packet that we're going to be using. I'm going to explain to you what it is in a second. You're going to not write on these, Tanya. Put that away.
Why not?
Okay. It's a class set. There's no need for you to write on these. We're going to use them as reference. Okay, so I gave you a printout. Now, these are your map results for math and English. We're going to focus on math, obviously. For those of you who don't have a map score for math, you're just going to listen, but you can do the activity towards the end. So, if you look at WI 22, that's the last time we took a winter test, which was actually in December. The blue is your score. Stop. We can do this a little bit later, which means we're going to go into your nutrition time. So do not interrupt me, Diego. The orange is the district. So how did all 7th graders in Santa Ana do all together? Then the last one, the yellow orangey one, that's the norm for everybody in the United States. So a typical 7th grader in the United States should have scored at 223. Some of you are above, some of you might be above Santa Ana, so on and so forth.
Miss O'Malley, so you're telling me the orange one is ours? No, the blue one.
Blue one is your personal one. The dark orange is Santa Ana 7th grade students, so you're part of it. Can you please put that away? The whiteout, she's being extremely distracted by it. The blue dotted one, that is the goal by the end of the year. Now, some of you have already met the goal that they set for you. Honestly, personally, I think those goals are kind of low. I think a lot of students can do better than the goal that they asked you to be at. Okay. So, but what I care about right now is the percentile, all the way over here. The closer you are to 99, the better. Okay? So, obviously, 99 is that one extreme student that we get once every, 10 years. That's just a rocket genius that, you're like, whoa, this kid's super smart. Listen. If you're in the 50s and the 60s, you're in a great position. If you're in the 40s, you're almost getting there. We're going to try to improve your percentile each year. Stop. Okay. Can you imagine if everyone asked me, remember, I am one, you guys are a bunch. So remind yourself of that before you start shouting out. Okay. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to set a goal for yourself. Because March 21st, we're going to take the new map. Why does it matter, this last one? This last one really tells us how much where you're at. And it has an effect on what math class you take next year. This year, because of COVID, we couldn't really place you very well, some of you very well, in what classes you needed. So this year, it's very important because we're like, okay, where are you at? After COVID, after being in here for a whole year, where's your level at? Have you lost a lot of learning, even though you've been in class? Do we still need to provide you with more support? So, at the bottom, we're going to set a goal. If I can spell it correctly.
I used to be so smart.
Okay. Here's how we're going to set a goal. If you look at page 21 from the packet, page 21 from the packet, page 21 from the packet, page 21 from the packet. This is where it tells you, so even if Giovanni and Abraham, we didn't have your scores, you can now participate in this part of the activity. This is the percentile, and this in 7th grade, so if we look at 7th grade, this is a score you need to get that percentile, okay? So if I want to be a 40%, I go to 40% here, and then I move over to 7th grade. What score do I need to get to be at a 40%?
222.
222. That would be a 40%. That's still below 50%. It's not a great, but some of you, that's where you are, and that's okay. You're going to hopefully increase each year. What if I want it to be 50%? What score do I need to be 50%? You turn the page. 50%'s all the way on the top. 7th grade will be a 227. So if I want to be right in the middle, your typical right C student in 7th grade, I would score a 227. That's 50%. Okay? Honors, we start looking at honors at 65 to 70%. So 65, if you score a 234, you'll be considered in honors 8th grade. Okay? Now, here's what I want. Look at your percentiles right now. And set a goal for yourself. Okay? If you're in the 60s, maybe in the 70s would be your goal. If you're in the 20s, how about reaching for like a 35%? If you're in the 40s, how about 50%? Set a goal for yourself based on your level. Not, I want to be 99%. Well, if you're not in the 80s or 90s, it's going to be extremely hard. It's doable, but not this year. And I hate to be like, she doesn't believe in me. It's not that. It's you grow little by little. But the goal is to grow. Maybe by the time you're in 11th grade, you'll score really high because you've been trying. That's your goal. Okay. Yes. So, look at your percentile. Add maybe like 5. Find it here. Find it here or on page 21. Some of you are on page 21. Some of you are on page 22. Find your goal as a percentile. Then look over to 7th grade. What's the number that I want? So let's say I want to be a 40%. My goal is to get 222. That's my goal. Okay, because I score in the 30s, I want to reach 40%. I think I can do it. So my goal is 222. Okay, for example. That would be an example. It all depends on where you're at. Okay, so write your percent goal. Write your percent goal. And write your RTI number. So start with the percent. What percent do you want to be at? If you're in the 60s, aim for 70s. So for those of you who don't have a score, pick a great percentile. So pick a percentile that you want to be at. Excuse me? The number, like the 222, 230. So if you're like 40%, you're 222. Obviously, you don't want to go down, right? So let's not pick a goal that's below what you're at right now. You've learned more than what you did in December. You've learned a lot more since December, so you should be setting up a goal that's higher than December. Yes.
So if you want to go like 219, do we put the number?